call, but the agenda and everything is already done, correct?
Yeah, it's still the same.
So we just go straight to
But-
number 5.
Yeah, but I believe Madam Vice will make
Right.
I have
Okay,
a motion to make before we begin the meeting. Once you're done calling
Okay.
it to order. Okay.
okay. So let's call the meeting to order, resume the meeting of August 10th. We will resume the meeting of August 10th, 2022. And today is the 14th of August, and the time is 10:37 in the morning. We're continuing this meeting via Zoom. Okay, so Erica, can we just do a quick roll call to make sure we still have quorum?
Sure. Okay, Chairman Michael Again,
Present.
Madam Vice Chair Angelita Mendiola,
Present.
District Director Carol Tayama,
Present.
and District
Present.
Director Kai.
Mr. Chair, I move that we excuse Director Glenn Takai. He's in church service at the moment, and he reported that he'll catch up with us as soon as he gets out. So I move that we excuse him until he can get on board with the chat with this meeting, the Zoom meeting.
Okay,
Second. Second.
okay, thank you. In favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So moving on, we do have a quorum, and we also have Erica here with us. Angie, did you?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make an amendment on the agenda on new business to put down district administrator status
Okay,
under new business. I think I need somebody to second that.
It cannot, like, it's not showing, new business not showing. There you go. Okay.
okay. Are we good
So
with
just
that?
the
What?
district administrator employment status.
You're adding on to the new
Yes,
business?
yes, I'm adding. Yeah, that's my motion to add.
Okay, second.
Okay, all in favor to adjust?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, nothing else to, no other changes for the agenda? We'll move on. We'll resume where we left off on item number 5, district administrator reports.
All right, that's me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with our financial report. So as of today, in our savings, we have $2,507. And in our checking, we have $14,212.94. With the total being, let me just, I'm doing the calculation. 39, oh wait, I'm sorry. 14,212.94 plus 25007. So we did receive the reimbursements from the NACD for the NCPP training.
Okay.
So that has yet to be reflected in the checking, but it is estimated around $9,000. And that was to cover Martha and Director Glenn Takai's airfare, per diem, and other expenses related to the travel. So we'll just be waiting for that. So UOG as of today, we are reflecting a total of $38,703.41. we're still pending to receive 61,629.59. We really need to get on them and just ensure that we're consistently following up.
How
With
much is that?
UOG, 61,629.59.
I'm sorry, is that the quarter release?
That is what we're still expecting to receive for FY 2022.
Oh,
We've,
okay, so,
up to this
so that-
point, only received 38,703.41.
so
I-
that has, yeah, so I'm sorry. So that will take us all the way till September 30th, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But I will say for the record that 38,703.41, that is up until June. That's what's reflected in our statements. So we have yet to receive July, and of course, we're right now in August. So it may be more that has been deposited since
Oh, okay, okay.
June. Yeah. So,
They may put them in.
but according to our official statements, bank statements that we've received, that is what's reflected.
So, Erica, is Lonnie or any who
Leah.
else can, I mean, I'm sorry, Leah, is she able to check on these things?
Yeah, I'd highly recommend that during this report that the board make a motion to allow Leah view access into the Southern District account so that way she can keep track or look into the account.
Is that with the UOG? So you need to have a memorandum from the chair?
Not with UOG, but with Close 360. But
Okay.
otherwise, I've just been using our the bank statements. But you know, if there's anything immediate that's needed that we need to look into the account, having
Yeah.
Leah with view access at Close 360 would be would just be better.
But Erica, any of us directors can access it. Is that correct?
That is
Yes.
that is correct. Absolutely.
And Angie, we know how to do it.
Yeah, we just call them, and if our names are on the account, so we can access it, any
Okay,
one of us.
okay. Just making sure, because Lana, when Erica's gone, we're kind of call her.
Yeah. Erica calls me too.
Okay, let's
Okay.
move on, because
So no, I have a question on the financial report, Mr. Chair, if I may.
okay. Go ahead.
Erica, we
Yes.
are, how much are we expecting from the north regarding the NACD visit expenses? I did question Katrina Rages. She was at our meeting on the 10th. I asked about that reimbursement of the 50% 50% from the northern on the total amount of the NACD visit expenses. And she said that the problem, according to her, the chairman said that it's very ambiguous, the memorandum of request for, so how much are we expecting if the board approves it, their board, the northern board, how much is that?
Let me just get you the. Let me just.
So did
pull up.
we send a letter to clarify it, or to, make it as simple as possible so they can understand, so that they can act on their scheduled 23rd meeting?
Yeah, that will go out today, and I'll be sure to CC all the board members.
Yes, northern
Because I
board
did
asked.
want to-
Yeah, that is very important, because that, according to Katrina, that was the obstacle, because it wasn't clear of the total requests that were requesting for them to reimburse. So yeah, it's a good idea to make sure that if you can do it today,
Yes, I'll
Send it-
be sure to do that today.
and CC copy all of their board members, just so that they can hopefully they can act on it at their 23rd scheduled meeting. Thank you.
You're welcome. No problem.
Because that is just
If-
for clarification, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's
So we
look
don't
at the
need to
memo
make-
together.
Yeah, so we don't need to make a motion on that, right? It's just for clarification
Yeah.
based on our discussion on the August 10th meeting.
Well,
Okay,
this is the memo that was sent.
yeah,
Okay.
okay,
And it's just, I mean,
yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's a little bit just straightforward
but-
rather than
yeah, but-
ambiguous, but
yeah, but that was the term that Katrina, when she reported on that, when I asked her that.
okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
So right here where I highlighted the
Moving on.
50-50 split cost, I'll just make it very specific that this is northern districts.
Right there,
Sure.
50-50 split.
Yeah,
And then it's
Yeah.
noted up here, but you know,
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
Whatever
Well,
we need to do, because we
since
need to
that
get
is
our,
Since that's their concern, we'll just address it to the
yeah, that's
point
fine.
and move on, right? Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So moving on, with the financial report, sorry, I kind of just lost my spot. Just so you can see it better, the numbers and whatnot. So the expenses that we have incurred so far, just to run down so that way the board can ratify. To this date, we have for personnel, 36,128.10. Stipends, 1,950. District operations is at 17,915.47. Travel meetings, conferences, we're at 41,404.50. Supplies and equipment, 2,498. Miscellaneous, 3,330.20, giving us a total expenses to be ratified at 103,226.27. And I also just kind of want to share with the board how that compares with our budget, right? So our revised budget as of April, this is what the figures kind of look like. And then you can compare it with where we're at with their actual expenses. Can you see this?
It's
Yeah.
hard to see for me.
You know, make it larger. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
think
stop
the
moving it.
agenda overwhelms it.
I can't believe that's the, our stipends are so low.
It's only $50 a meeting, so you can see, that's why. What is the miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous?
Yeah, expense. What is under miscellaneous?
Miscellaneous, that's where we put our dues and our public advertisements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our Zoom membership, professional development.
Okay.
Is this helpful?
Yes, it is. Wait, where are we at here?
Since I cannot really see it on my side, on my end, the agenda is very clear, big, and it covers the whole face of my phone. But the financial is just on the right side on the bottom and cannot enlarge it.
Hmm.
I don't know how.
Move it to your left and then enlarge it.
Erica, you know that
Yeah.
travel
Yes.
is like the travel you guys did for the training all included in there and the other training, and then we reimburse those monies, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we never budgeted for that NCPP. I mean, although it was approved, but it was basically reimbursed. So I can include it in here. I just didn't include it as it wasn't.
Oh,
And the NACD visit is included there, right, as expense
Yeah, but
to be
I can add it,
reimbursed?
just so that way it's documented, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Within
until
our
it,
expenditures, even
yeah,
if it was
yeah.
reimbursed.
yeah. Yeah, and so we're expecting that reimbursement, and we're
Yeah.
expecting the money released from UOG. So all in all, at the end, we're still in good standing, right?
We're still in good standing because in actuality, our the public law allows for $100,233. And
Okay.
then we were able to secure the 50,000,
Yeah,
right? For the feral swine program and other conservation related activities,
okay.
which has definitely been keeping us afloat as we wait for the remaining allotment from DOA, from the government.
Okay, so we're still good to the end of our fiscal year, which is September 30th.
Yes.
We just, Mr. Chair, we just need to follow up with UOG.
correct.
Yeah, because if we don't, they're gonna pull the fast one on. Not that I'm saying anything bad, but we just have to make sure we follow up.
Because that's
on
60-some
it.
thousand due, right? 60,000 about, yeah.
Yeah,
we're
we
still
may
okay.
lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do
Yeah.
we do? Who do we just make a phone call or something, Erica?
Well, I'll definitely leave the contact information with Leah, and we just send a note,
Okay,
email requesting
okay,
with their business office to ensure and to find out the status of the release.
Or
of the
release, to
remaining
release the
allotment.
money. Yeah, to
Yeah.
release the funds. Yeah.
okay.
So you need a motion for that or what?
If I
to-
can just have a second, I'd like to input the cost for the NCPP. That way we can just ratify whatever we need to.
The NCPP, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yes.
Mhm.
All right, so that NCPP training cost was $9,446.05.
But that's been reimbursed already, right?
Correct. But I'll go ahead and include it in the expenses to
Yes.
be ratified. Is that
Yes,
okay?
yes, that is good.
So Erica, that's 9,446 times 2? Or is
No.
that the total already?
Total.
Yeah,
The times two is
Chanel.
for how many people but was budgeted for.
So the amount there is already for 2? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
All right, so this is the
Yeah.
new And then, of course, the travel changes. Ooh, this is great investment here. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and share. Mr. Chair, for the record, Ms. Marty Tenorio, our outreach specialist, has joined us.
Okay. Where, oh, where? Martha.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Martha. How's the rosary been going?
It's good. So they have it now every night at 6:30 p.m. at the church, and 7 a.m. is the masses.
Yeah, I saw that. Thanks.
All right, so
So what is the total expenses?
it is 112,672.32.
Okay, are we ready to ratify?
If it so pleases the board.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that we ratify the expenses as presented by our administrator. I'm not sure, can you please repeat the total again? Because I'm not feeling well. My blood pressure is under 70, but
$112,672.32.
okay, so I would like, I move that we ratify the total expenses as reported. The administrator has explained everything in detail. And so therefore I move that we ratify.
Second,
Any discussion?
already.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ratified. Expenses ratified.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so next thing that I'd like to discuss under the financial report is definitely need to start taking a look at the FY 2023 budget. I mean, we haven't yet received the official public law in which the districts would be able to know how much they will be getting for the upcoming fiscal year. But just so we are aware, and maybe this board can make a recommendation to the next board on what the budget
Priorities.
is looking like and what was, but what projects are proposed and expenses.
So this,
So
what you're showing is what we want to do.
yes, so this is the FY 2023 request. So in this column, and let me make it bigger. Right, we're going off of what was previously allotted for the districts, which is the 100,233 33, right? So personnel, it pretty much stays the same. Well, we budgeted for the same salary for the district manager, then the conservation outreach specialist, and then the conservation associate. We added that along with benefits. Mr. Chair, I just want to acknowledge for the record that Dr. Bob Barber, our technical advisor, has joined us.
Yes, thank you. I see him there. Welcome,
Hi,
Dr.
Dr. Bob.
Boer. Thanks for your patience there in the last couple of days. It was hard to get us going.
Yeah, so Dr. Bob, right now we're going over the FY 2023 budget request that we submitted to the University of Guam.
Okay, so
So,
what's, you've got a request. What's the second column, the proposed? What's that?
so the proposed, right now, looking at the bill that's come out, Bill 276-36, this is what they're looking at giving the districts, the
Oh,
66.
okay, I'm sorry. So that's that's the budget that they just, I mean, that's because the university's done with their budget. That's the university budget for you. That's what the legislature actually gave you.
Yeah, I don't know, is it approved yet? It's still in
Yeah.
bill form, right? They still need to
I
approve
think,
it, so.
well, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if the governor signed, but I think the legislature, I heard, now, this isn't official, but I heard that yesterday that, you know, the university has their budget now. We're done with that. For what our budget is in the coming year. The legislature's done with us, I think.
How much is it?
Well, it's what the bill was. We didn't get what we asked at all. We're not even close. We're not, I mean, we're more than 20% behind what we needed.
Wow, oh yeah, for the increase in salary.
Well, yeah, we had
we did-
no, the request didn't include any kind of increase in salaries. It was just basic operating expenses for the university.
Wow.
See, we're falling behind on critical maintenance and all kind of other things. And again, we've got a super low year. They requested something like 30 million, and I think we're back at the 24 million that they gave. We're at the same budget they gave us last year, basically.
Yeah,
Well, we did meet with Senator Sabina the other day, and we did ask her to help us get more money. And then
Okay, so-
Madam Vice did mention your name.
Oh.
no, we're
Yeah.
lobbying it for you, for
We-
the university professor, so.
Yeah,
Okay, well, Sabina is one of the
Advocating.
ones who's aware. Good, thank you. That's good.
She told us that you already made that presentation.
To her, but not to anybody else.
Yeah, she told us
just
that.
because I know her personally, I just sought advice. I've been trying to get with San Augustine, and he has not yet given us a meeting. But so, okay, so what I would advise y'all is you can still keep asking you for your budget, but I think you need to start making plans. What are you going to do with what you got? Do you need to move money from one area to another? Like, say, if you've got staffing things or other things that you want to do, so that what you're going to, I think you need to, yeah, I think you may need to have some pretty serious plans on the 66,000 then.
but Doc,
Yeah.
Doc, I have a question though. Last year we got 103,000, right?
Mhm.
So if you're saying it's the same as or 100, what was it, Erica? 100,000. 233.
Yeah.
So
Mike, can I just jump in there? The legislature approved 60-some thousand, I think, but then Sabina was able to get 30, I think it was 30,000 added to our budget.
But doesn't that reflect in last year's budget?
I'm not sure, but
And
that's
then-
how we got that. Yeah. That's
then
how
should
it's
it be-
100,000.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but shouldn't that be, if you're saying it's the same as last year, would that be it? Or that's what I'm wondering.
I'll tell y'all what I can do. I can't do it today, but tomorrow I can find out exactly what you got. I can find out two things. One, is it final, the university, including your budget, is approved? And I can find exactly what the total amount in your portion of the budget was. I can call the business office and get that for you.
If I
So you-
remember
Okay, thanks
correctly,
for that.
if I remember correctly, she said 60 sound like what we've been getting. The one that she put in, it was like a side thing that she lobbied for. So I don't know,
Yeah, it's like
Mike, that's a good,
miscellaneous.
yeah, so
miscellaneous.
that would be great. Dr. Bob, if you can let us know so we can check with her, because she said we did request for her to consider finding funds, for us to operate.
Well, and there may be something other than in the university main budget in one of the miscellaneous categories, a supplemental that will come in and add to this. But you would need to find out. And so when did you last see this bill 276-36 proposed budget? When was the last version you saw of that? How many months or weeks ago?
Oh, just like last week,
Oh,
literally.
okay. Well, no, then yeah, all right. I think that's probably it.
Okay. So,
Yep.
we put in our request. We're
Mm-hmm.
preparing for not getting it. So what we'd like to do is kind of just review this budget and then agree to propose this to the new up and coming term.
Yeah.
Does that sound correct, Dr. Bob?
Yeah. And is this, if this is
Wow.
66 under contractual services, that how you want to have it shift out? You won't have a
Yeah.
match for the NACD TAIV grant and no outreach, Aggie producers outreach.
Yeah, I mean, we can find grants to do this, but this is kind of an in kind. We can do the match using our staff.
Okay. Okay, that would work, because yeah, you do still have staff up there, you just don't have as much staff. And going back 1 second, how badly does this reduced budget affect existing staff? You're gonna have to let anybody go, or you just not hire somebody?
Sorry, what was that?
Well, going back up to your staffing and this new budget, if you don't get the outreach specialist at 24,000, and is this someone you've hired, or is this you're not going to hire?
We do have an outreach specialist, but that we can also fund the position under one of the TA grants that we receive from
Okay.
NACD. But we do
Okay.
need assistance in district operations aside from the scope, right?
Yeah. Okay, so well, yeah, so just y'all it's good for staff to know where we're going for what you're doing. Because that's where you took the biggest hit, it looks to me.
Yes.
Yeah. And then yep. We're still over 30,000 budget, but we do have reserves. We're just trying to, we need to
Oh.
get below, right? We need a budget within our means.
Right.
I think the place where we can kind of cut it would be the training and workshop. Reduce the number of people but we'll wait till we need to cross that bridge.
Until we find.
Yeah. But that what the new board would have to consider. That's the only one that I can see that we can probably, just reduce the number. We already reduced it look at that, but maybe it needs to reduce more. Well, yeah, we just have to live within our means. If we don't find more fundings, the government has a lot of surplus in the millions, right, Dr. Bob?
Yeah, I'm not. They do have. I mean, one of the things is the reparations. They no longer have to set aside money for that. The obligations are complete. So that's one of the things that are giving them some big surplus. Also, they no longer they've already, which they haven't maybe fully spoken for yet, but the earned income credit freedom of being released from that, that unfortunately everybody and their brother has their fingers in that one. And so I don't know how much of that surplus will actually materialize. And then there's a potential of some more military activity that might increase. So I'm trying to follow. I haven't yet been able to go back and watch all the legislative hearings, so I know everything is going on. One thing we can all maybe do is see if we can identify exactly which day the university budget was owed, because then they will go through it line by line. And I missed it. It's sometime in the last week and a half, they actually did spend an hour or so where so it's just a matter of finding on the YouTube channel which day. If anyone finds out when they discussed university, that would be great, because I think the districts would be then. I'm happy to watch it and see what I can gather from that as well. At the very first day, I think it was Tuesday, there was 2 presentations, budget management and one other portion of the government gave 2 fairly parallel things where they discussed the big picture budget and how much was left over and where the areas of surplus and deficit were. I actually watched that, but it was sort of while I was doing other things, so I only absorbed about half of it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look into that. Try to find it. But it did pass already, right?
That's what that's the hearsay I have. Like I said, I didn't see it and I don't know yet, but and I'll reach out first thing tomorrow. I'll reach out because I need to find out some stuff on that too.
Okay. So
Dr.
with the
Bob?
board, mhm.
Dr. Bob, you came in a little late, but probably the district will need also help from you to get the university to release the due funding from, for them to release our funds that was
For
due
last
since
year.
June. For
Oh.
this year's budget, 2021 budget, 2022 budget, sorry.
Yeah.
So
Have y'all
just
made a
help, just to
request?
help check and tell them to release it. Ask them.
Okay, yeah, y'all made a request for it though, right? You sent a letter asking for it.
No, they usually do
yet.
it automatically.
I would send a letter. That would give me something to refer to. But yeah,
Okay, would this just go to Rachel Cup?
yes,
Okay. An email should be fine, right?
yes.
Okay, so
And
I'll be
CC
sure to
copy Dr. Bob.
Just CC me as advisor when you do it.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
good. All right. Thank you,
All right,
Dr.
so-
Bob.
Thanks, Dr. Bob. So would the board at this time like to approve this, to accept this budget to as proposed, to propose to the new term? So it's 97,572. Of course, it's over budget based on what the bill is reflecting.
So I have a problem with that, approving that proposed budget when in reality it's not. How do we word that?
You could say, what you could say is, if in fact you move to approve, if in fact the third column is the actual budget, you approve it. Should you get the additional, the requested, then you approve, you approve the use of the extra requested funds as indicated. So you'd be approving the proposed bill that you think may be real, if that's what it is, but you're approving that should we get supplemental. So it's a dual approval. You're approving both the planned budget as well as the supplemental should it be obtained.
Okay. Okay, so move. So move, as explained by Dr. Bob Barber, that makes sense.
Okay, second.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, it was moved and seconded as explained by Dr. Bob Barber regarding the budget.
Wait,
The
I'm
proposed,
curious on one thing. But you have 2 columns that both say they're proposed bill 27636, page 24. But they're different numbers. Or are they the same? They're the same.
they're the same, but I'm just
Oh, okay.
gonna, sorry, I meant to move this.
Yeah, what we need to find out is what has been approved.
All right, and this is just, this budget is just to propose to the new board so that they kind of see that we're trying to roll over some projects or kind of just getting it set up. They can change it, whatever, whichever way they want or however they need to, based on the actual. All right, so we're all in agreement. Thank you.
It was moved and seconded. Now we need to vote on it, Mr. Chair.
Oh,
Mr.
Mr. Chair,
Chair.
you're on mute. You were for a while if you were talking.
Oh, thank God. Well, that's why you're not hearing me what I was gonna ask, but never mind. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. All
Sorry
right,
about
moving
that.
on. Bring back up the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, so for our grants and agreements, I'm gonna just go through this really quick. I have a full written out report on the things to do. So, starting with our feral swine. Does everyone see the agenda?
No,
Oh,
No, we don't see the agenda. I only see Dr. Bob.
I only see Angie.
what you're seeing is whoever's talked last. You need to share, reshare, stop sharing, then share again when you switch between things.
So many windows open. Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so starting with the feral swine program with APHIS, we've definitely are closing out the last quarter with them, but they have already sent their work financial agreement for FY 2023. So I do believe that we are expecting an additional 50,000 again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if things didn't change, to fund the feral swine program. Again, we have to wait for the new board to officially decide if they are going to want to continue this program with APHIS. It's also, there are a lot of different grants that went out this past fiscal year to address feral swine. I think Department of Agriculture Biosecurity submitted one, and DOD is submitting one. So there's plenty of resources and funding that's going into addressing the feral pig population. If worst case scenario that we do not get that 50,000, what should we do? Should we continue to fund this? Because it's 20,000 at
Well,
least.
based on our budget, though, I don't know how we're gonna do that, right?
I would.
If what we're getting is a minimum.
That is
I-
true.
You should probably start thinking, and if you're dealing with minimum budgets, anywhere where grants can fund things, let them do and not your core funds. Your core funds should be for your operations and your immediate soil and water outreach. But one thing you need to realize in the north, there's, we don't know how the next board will shake up, but I don't know how much y'all paid attention to what is coming out of our representative's office with Congress, where there may be impacts in terms of a custom slaughter facility that would be actually able to take feral pigs and deer from the hunts and other things dead, not have to be delivered live and killed, but be dead and then butcher. And that may end up being a focus of some of the district's efforts, is to look at that depending on how the elections go, because there's, that livestock group is very active on that. And if some of the members of that group get in, the North may be looking at that aspect of feral swine control, or what to do with the bodies, and so y'all might want to keep your whole thing open. But I would say in things like that, it needs to be where you provide key support through your staffing. Because if you're down to a core thing, your staff. So you got to think what you can do your staff. And so think about how you, through your outreach and staff, can assist grants, but have the core funding come from them, not eat up 20, 30, 40% of your legislative budget on a single project idea. And this won't just be feral swine. This will be all your endeavors.
Yeah,
Okay, so noted.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
can
good
get help
point.
on that.
Okay, so our next grant is the NACD Technical Assistance Grant, which expires in September. So we will be putting a pause on that until I can climb out of BMT. And more than likely, we'd have Leah step into this role as she's going to be onboarding with NRCS as well and providing some program support. So that way the grant is still going.
Have y'all spent your money in the time the grant proposed spending for that? And have we got some deliverables to report back out on that?
For the NACD, yeah, I'd have to get the main thing is that we have met and exceeded our metrics in terms of how many new applicants sign up for EQIP and how many applicants are contracted. So we've met and exceeded by
So
100%.
my suggestion, the final thing for this board is to approve a report, even if it's just a one-page thing, summarizing the accomplishments under the grant to go in as a report on the grant, because you're gonna have to report out, and if it ends in September, it'll be the new board, but y'all should at least go ahead and prepare for the new board the report so it's ready to go. You don't want any you don't want to drop step on that between boards. You want to make sure you're continuing to report to them in a timely manner because you want future funding along the same lines.
That is true. And we regularly provide, or bi-quarterly, we do have to submit a grant report. So before this, we'll definitely have a summary of accomplishments. And we have to do that anyways for the final report.
When you do that, please send me a copy of that just so I have it in my knowledge.
All right, the GACD Technical Assistance Grant. I think GACD needs to meet separately to discuss this grant. So Dr. Bob, if you have some time later on, Chairman or the President, and we'd like to share
That's
some.
important. Don't y'all have a GACD meeting with the national in September in Hawaii or something like that? So you need to be ready for that.
That is true. And a lot of, Jay Dornilla, he'll be attending that meeting in Maui, NRCS.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
even the Saipan folks, they'll be.
All the Saipan guys are going to Maui.
Yes, yeah, they're really, and they're gonna send their people to Hawaii, which is nice.
Okay.
Did they say how many?
I didn't. I can ask Ariel, but for speaking on behalf of US or NRCS, I know that Jay is going and Pam Sablon is going. So NRCS is sending the PIA team, which is great. They never get to get out and go to these things. Okay, so just one last one, our big one, the USDA NRCS Guam Long Range Plan, that grant. We have submitted an extension, a request for a no-cost extension in which they're processing. They've agreed to extend it until next April 2023. So we have an opportunity to draw down on those fundings to host our local working group meeting. I don't know, Dr. Bob, you said you were going to have some sort of conference, Western SARE conference. Can we
I don't
plan
know.
for that?
We were just talking to Dr. Verma in CNMI. we're looking at what we might be doing. And yeah, and when we were talking about getting together possibly sometime in January, bringing a group of people together, from the islands, possibly earlier, but certainly by January would be the sort of end time that we would want to do this. Yeah, again, going back on this one, I'm trying to remember that one was basically all the money in that basically went to NRCS to fund equip programs that you got increased applicants to take advantage of, wasn't it? Or is there money for other things in that?
Yeah, I mean, well, really, it was to develop the Guam long range plan.
Okay, how
which
much money cash do you have in your long range plan development still?
we have about 9,000 to
Okay.
host another local working group meeting.
Okay, so you guys, if we could get if we could get some of the CNMI people here, and so you guys could host a thing, and then we could invite our local people to it.
Yeah, I think that would be really,
So we might do that, to just do a end of the year, beginning of next year, update on where we're at, what we're at. And at that point, both districts will have had a chance to get together, as well as GACD will have had a chance to reform and recoup.
I guess and a big reason why we wanted to request for the no cost extension is because, you know, with the new board coming in, there may be some new ideas, new
Well,
commitments.
But at least needing to commit that board to what you know, I mean, making sure they're committed to the, not
Yeah.
yet, both in terms of changes they
Willing
may
to do
want,
work.
but yeah. Okay,
Okay, so
Okay.
that pretty much sums it up. So ongoing tasks and projects. I'm gonna defer to Dr. Bob, election,
Uh-huh.
the SSWCD election. Otherwise, do we have that in our new business?
okay, well, no, let me just real quickly, Erica and I started looking. So strangely enough, I would have thought everybody was in registered farmers. We've got quite a few members who don't show up we've got people who are applicants who don't show up in both the north and the south in either the farmers list or land management list. So in our case, it was Martha, Yvonne, and there was one more, wasn't there, Erica? Martha and Yvonne we need to just verify that they, you know, on a mortgage or something, but they neither one show up on the farmer list or the land management list. In the north, Hope's name's all over land management, but she doesn't show up on a farmer list. Who else? There was a second one in the north who didn't show up on the farmer list. Who? Now I'm blanking out. But they did show, I think in the north, they all show up either on the farmer list or the land management list. There wasn't anyone in the northern group, Erica, was there, that didn't show up on one or the other when we checked last night? I don't have my notes in front of me.
Well,
If I remember correctly, but Dr. Bob, I think Martha attached her land deed to her
Okay,
nomination
yeah.
form. We just need to work on Yvonne to either
Okay.
utility bill or land
Something.
land deed.
And please do it by tomorrow before I print the ballots, because I've got to verify this before the ballot.
Check with
So-
Martha's nomination form. She attached her deed.
Yeah, I remember there was one that had something attached, and I didn't note
So
it.
that I believe that was Martha's.
Okay,
I think
that's
Yvonne has her bona fide also. Current,
not bona fide. No, she's not a bona fide farmer. I've
yeah,
got the
but
list.
recently issued.
Oh, okay. Well, this list was supposed to have been pulled from last Thursday. So, okay, if she's got a recently issued, please have her show it.
Yeah,
By
I'll follow up.
tomorrow, please, if you all could reach out to them.
Okay, we gotta keep moving, guys, because I really do have something going on.
All right. I'm all for that.
So
Okay.
make
that's-
sure we follow up with Yvonne.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just it. We have to, you guys had 2 seats. I just wanted to make sure by tomorrow that we've verified eligibility of the candidates.
So just check on Martha's and then Mike will follow up with Yvonne. Thank you.
I'll take care of Yvonne, yeah.
Okay,
Okay. So yeah, let's move on. That's the big one. Old business. 2021 annual report status. I'll defer that to Marty.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and yes, just to ditto Auntie Angie's statement, I did submit with my application for the directorship my deed. So that should be all together, Dr. Bob. Thank you for following up on that.
Okay.
Okay, so going over to the annual report, we did send out the vendor quotes for vendors and decided that we will go with Island Copy. Right now, we kind of hit a snag just because they were having trouble with opening the program, but we worked around that. And no matter how they ended up printing it, because we've been getting sample printing from them, there's like an extra blank page. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that by maybe turning that into like pictures of, just like a collage. So it's just going to be pictures and photos of the board in action and of course our projects that we've done in the past year. And so I will be continuing to follow up with that. And I'm thinking that by the end of this week, it should be completed and printed.
And Marty, how much is that? For the
315.
20 copies?
315.
Okay.
how many copies?
20, I believe, was the amount we asked. Let me confirm that. Oops.
That's a lot of
20.
money for 20 copies.
There's like about,
It's a long
yeah, it's a lot of
report.
pages.
We did a lot, Dr. Bob.
Yeah.
Can y'all, well, I'm just saying $15 a copy for a report is a bit much, but can y'all make sure that you have that report as a PDF that you can distribute as a PDF? That would be important.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be on our website too. Thanks, Dr. Bob. And thanks, Marty. Okay, we can move on.
Yes,
So the SBDC QuickBooks training, we've had this on our agenda for quite some time. It was going back and forth and now it's stuck. So maybe we just recommend to revisit in the next term. Otherwise, Chairman, do you have any? Or Dr. Bob, yeah.
I
no,
want to just know who's sponsoring this. Is this the districts or is this the co-op? Who is-
Initially, it was going to be the district sponsoring the
Okay. So then we
farmers.
need to get, then we really do need to sit down with ourselves on it and the SBDC, because honestly, there's no reason this thing should be able to be done with it like 2 weeks notice. We just need to do it.
So we're putting that on hold. Is that the suggestion of our administrator until the next term comes in, until the next board are sworn in?
Yeah, I think we should still follow through with it, as Dr. Bob was saying, but maybe we first kind of strategize on our different projects and outreach workshops throughout the year. So
Yeah.
we can
so
better
yes,
prepare. And budget. So our budget's weak.
Okay, on this, Ken, before you leave it, just who was your contact person at SBDC for this?
Brian San Nicholas.
Brian, okay.
Chairman, was there any other?
uh,
Fred?
well, Freddie Granillo also was in communication with us on that.
What was the last name?
Granillo,
Okay,
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 thank you.
so the National Conservation Partnership Planning and this, so item C and D, we've already reported on this. And the official report has been sent to your emails. So
okay.
if you like, you can either move to approve it now as we've already reported out, or
Okay, I move to, for the board to accept C&D's report, the National Conservation Partnership Planning meeting that was held in May. And the CNMI coordination meeting that was held in May also. I move that we accept and approve the trip report as submitted.
Okay, second. Carol,
We lost her?
Michael.
Second,
There she
second.
is.
No,
There she
second.
is.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh, I have. Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
motion passed. Thank you. Okay, Erica, let's move on.
Thank you.
Okay, I
Thank
think in the
you.
last meeting, we added a new old business 2021 Educator Symposium status. So we already know what we need to do with that. Madam Vice.
Yes, I was just questioning and I did request at our meeting, last meeting, that the chair follow up, or the board follow up with the education symposium expenses for justification and clarification of the expenses that we have brought up at other meetings in question, and that the board, their northern board, have to approve that expenses, because from my understanding, they're not aware of the expenses. So that's the chairman's request, and we haven't gotten a response from the northern. So that is still pending, Mr. Chair, and I moved that another letter for requests for that before we do our share expense motion to approve it.
May I make a suggestion on this? That the chair write for the Southern Board and say it's not his letter, it's the Southern Board's letter. I'm writing for the Southern Board, and then in the email it first to the chair of the Northern Board, but all the members, and then in the CC all the Southern Board members and
Yes.
the advisor. And that way it is not chair to chair, but it is board to board. So no one can dispute the legitimacy of communicating with the Northern Board members.
But Dr. Bob Barber, when the chairman of the respective board writes or receives letters, that's for the board. That should be understood.
I realize that, but this
But
is just.
I know where you're coming
way to get
from, and I
around it.
like that suggestion. So that's the route we should take.
I think so, given that we realize there's been some disagreements in the Northern Board about how communications are handled. You have the right to communicate any way you wish. And what I'm
Yes.
recommending is y'all
Yes.
formally say that our board members will communicate with their board members and the chair will lead it. Is what I would
Yes.
say.
It's a good suggestion.
Okay. We'll
Right,
make
so
that more
we'll
clear.
rescind that. Nah,
So the
Okay.
motion is for the Southern Board again to communicate our concern to the Northern, so that we can settle the education symposium expenses.
Okay,
Yes.
second,
And I would probably wait till immediately after the elections and then communicate it to the outgoing board members and the incoming board members is how I would do it. While you're still, because you won't be sworn in yet, but at least you know who all the players are.
okay, Carol, second,
Again,
all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you. Okay, moving on.
Okay, new business, NACD leadership visit, June 17th. We also sent a memo regarding this, and we have to resend it again because it was apparently unclear. And only
Okay.
one received it. So
I believe we talked about that, right?
yeah, we already talked about that.
Okay.
But going back to the leadership visit, it was very successful. So there, we have a lot of actions, things to do. I'll send the report via email for your review. I'll include you in that too, Dr. Bob, on what the NACD kind of was able to assess with their visit and kind of the actions moving forward. And I know you have some actions as well for your own self or for your own university. Okay.
I do. Oh,
Any
yeah.
comment?
I just want to commend the Southern Board for all the efforts put together to make this visit, an NSCD leadership visit, a success.
I also wanted to say thank you to you guys. We did a tremendous job in getting that done. We showed our professionalism and we put on a good face representing Guam. So thank you to everybody in our district.
Woohoo!
Ooh, that was hard work.
Thanks, Dr. Bob. You're part of our Southern District too.
Yep.
Got your meeting. All right, same as, do we want to move forward? We missed you, Auntie Carol.
Yeah.
That's when I caught the COVID.
Yeah.
But you were
It was
with
from
us.
sorry. That's when I was
Oh,
admitted in the hospital.
oh my God. It's
I
okay.
did.
You were at the partner event. That's what's
Yeah.
important. Okay, the NACD summer meeting in Puerto Rico. That was cool. The chairman, he sat on 2 different panels. One of them focused on climate smart. That one was crazy. And then the other one was about the region chairs. He sat on a panel with the other region chairs. And they talked about the needs and whatnot within the districts. And Mr. Chair, did you want to?
Yeah, well, the regional chair panel was pretty good. I can't remember everything we did, but it was good. The climate one was a bit, I don't know. It was the other panelists were like super technical in their reporting or their answers and all that, and I don't know. So I just kind of kept it grounded, put it that way.
Yeah, I recorded it, so I'll definitely put it up on our drive and share that as well. The biggest highlight, I think, is that the president reported on the NACD visit to the PIA, in which Guam and the Farmers Co-op was well recognized, and just all the efforts from Guam and the CNMI as well.
Yeah,
And
sorry not about that one, but yeah, everybody was really interested in hearing about that, and there's a lot more interest in our side for our side of the Pacific. So that really helped bring attention to us.
Yeah, I feel like that was the first time ever that, well, it was the first time ever that Guam was given such great recognition, and yeah, we were like the star of the party.
Yeah.
So the trip report also will be emailed. There's no reimbursements to be made. We do need to kind of follow up on some charges on the chairman's side, but that should be resolved within the hotel and whatnot. And if it does, then can definitely just revisit and make that reimbursement accordingly, depending on what the hotel finds.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we won't approve that right now.
I move that will be tabled and discussed at the next board. Since the charges for the hotel is still pending, so can Mr. Chair, I move that that will be put on hold or until the next meeting.
The trip report, or just
Because
that?
according to Oh, the trip report. It's not but the trip report should include the expenses, correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
So since there's still with the hotel charge not complete, that's why I'm wondering if we should just put that on hold until we get all that expenses complete.
okay. Erica, we're good with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Angie, that's your
My
motion?
motion.
Okay,
And to all the expenses are reported in, then the board can act on approval.
okay. Carol, second.
Yeah, second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Let's move on. So I think we talked enough already about the election, right? Or is there anything
Yeah,
else?
we're fine. Just no campaigning anywhere in the parking lots or around the building. You know, come in, vote, leave. Come back after 7.
All right. Okay, let's move on, Erica.
Okay, so, we did draft up a strategic plan for district operations for the next 3 years. Due to time, I'll go ahead and just email that to you, to all the board members, and hopefully the new board would either adopt it or improve it. But at least it's something. And
Okay.
I've been talking to Dr. Bob.
Copy. Yeah, copy me,
Yeah.
please.
Sure. That
Okay,
first order of business, election. Requirement, whatever. But yeah, I'll definitely keep you, I'll include you in the email. It's a great plan. All right, administrative assistant hire. We did hire Leah. She started last week, Monday, the 8th.
we need to ratify that.
Yes, and she'll be on a 6-month term for now, and with the option to extend.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, I think this is very important, and I will discuss later because I did include an item in the new business agenda before the start of the meeting, but I move, this is a very, it's a needed position. So I move that we ratify the hiring of Leah. I know that we advertised the position.
Yes, you
And
did.
she was the only one that came up for the interview. So, yeah, so I move that we ratify the hiring.
what's her full name?
Maria
Uh,
Barcinas.
Maria Barcinas, okay.
Oh, okay.
Better known as Leah.
Yes, okay. Second,
Second.
thank
Second.
you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We got a new person on board officially.
All
Okay.
right, you'll all have, we'll have a copy of her contract.
Could
Yeah.
y'all send me her email so that if something comes up tonight or early morning, I can communicate with her since she's gonna be your representative at the ballot thing Monday morning,
Okay,
maybe Tuesday morning.
That's a good idea.
Yes. And we also need to inform UOG CNAS of our new employee, as according to the mandate.
So informed.
Okay. All right. SSWCD transition report. I don't think this needs roll approval, but I did turn over a report to the chairman with all of the things that need to be done. So that can be shared via email as well.
Yeah, please
Unless
do.
it so pleases the board to review it right now, I can.
No, better send it via email.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
And if we have any comments, we'll just call the Leah and the chair directly.
And Leah has already also been briefed on the transition report for while I'm away.
Okay.
For a short time. Okay.
Can you send me a copy of that report?
Yes, I will definitely include you in that, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, all those things like that should be, copy should be given to our advisor. So, he's there and he knows what's going on. So I really tell Leah all those things have to be CC copy the advisor, Mr. Chair. That's very important.
But that should just be a standing order,
Yeah,
actually.
standing, yeah, order of business, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Especially now that he's really officially or
And he's so active with us.
Yes.
Well, technically, I've been officially it since somewhere around 2004, but yeah, anyway. We'll see
All
how
right.
much longer that official lasts.
Since this is my last term, I really love you, Dr. Bob Barber, as an advisor.
Thank
okay,
you.
we'll save that for your announcement. And
No, because we're talking about him being an advisor since 2004. I've been around.
okay, we move on to 8 board correspondence.
Oh, excuse me, we
Oh, I'm
just
sorry. You did have
Addition.
something, right?
Yes.
addition FG, and this is our administrator, Miss Erica Pangilinan, our district administrator. She'll be on military leave, and I just want to make sure. I know that she will be in contact with the new board and helping navigate business forward with the help of Leah, our new hired employee. So I really think, and I think there's something in the law that if they're on military leave, that we continue the contract or continue the employment. So I just want to make sure that we take note of that and that she's going to still be working. We'll still be calling her up for things, and she'll be working in between training or when she's supposed to be sleeping. So I just want to make sure that the board consider that even her body's not here, but she'll be still working for us as much as she can. And I really feel that it is incumbent and it's within the law that we continue paying her salary.
You should get the law and read the terms and conditions of it, and
Because even in private enterprise, like if somebody is on a private working for private businesses, that employee continues to receive their salary.
yeah, like I said, you need to read the law. There's provisions if a person's part-time, full-time. There's provisions of if the employer wishes to or not. Just be sure so that you can cite exactly the conditions in which you do it. You want to actually know the law.
So I recommend, Erica, can you please, if Dr. Bob doesn't mind, can you please work with Dr. Bob? We only have today and tomorrow.
My problem is I don't know the law, so you need to get. That's my point. I know it's different for part-time from full-time, and that's the only experience I've ever had with it. So yeah, you need to do it. But what you guys may want to do is if it's optional, then you need to probably do a vote to continue paying. If it's an option.
Erica is like basically full-time, but the only question is the contract part. So I don't know. That's the only part that.
Well, the contract is still in place. Her contract has not ended, and that she's just called on duty.
Okay.
So that contract should still be effective. I just want to make sure that she's, what is due is due. And
Yeah.
I don't want the board to just abruptly now stopping her salary. And especially since I know she'll be in contact with us, and I know that she'll continue to help us navigate the mission and all the work of the district. So I don't know. Mr. Chair, I just want something done before she leaves, or even shortly after she leaves. We'll still be in communication with her. So I just want her to be compensated as to what is due to her based on her contract.
My
Absolutely.
So can you
recommendation is. I
just look
recommend
into it?
Yeah, well, the way you could do it is that it make a motion, it's the intent of the board to compensate at the allowable rate. Or the, whatever, because your government funds, so you need to follow the rules of what it says, and that you can, as a board, if there's an option between the board, then it's good to go ahead and have a vote noting that this board wishes, at least through its term, to compensate at the at whatever is legally allowable rate under the military leave laws, something to that effect. And
Okay,
then
so my
get the
motion
law.
then, Mr. Chair, I want to make a motion that we continue to compensate our district administrator based on whatever law regarding military leave,
Whatever's allowable under the law.
what is allowable under the law.
Okay. That's it?
That's my motion. What's
Okay.
allowable
Carol?
under the law.
Okay.
No, who's taking military leave? I'm sorry. I had to step out for a few minutes.
Erica,
Erica.
our
Erica's
Administ-
taking military leave?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So we're just
Oh.
gonna compensate her based on what's allowed under the law.
Oh, yeah, they get paid
So
during
I'm-
military leave.
I made that motion, so we just need to second it.
But I don't understand why we need to make a motion. It's
We
a
just wanna
law
make
that
sure.
if they
Yes.
go on military leave, it's a leave. We pay
Yeah,
them.
that's what the motion is what's allowable on the law. We're gonna review based on her contract and what have you. So what's allowable in the law, and our advisors advising us to maybe it's good that we do it at this time so that we can look into it and to be compensated, yes, but it's based on what's allowable on her contract. So we just make a motion and vote on it.
So Carol, you did make a second, right?
I'm just a little bit confused, but I'll go ahead and second. I don't see why we need to do that when it's a law. When
Well,
anybody takes
the
military
law's
or go
variable
on
under
military,
different circumstances when we don't know the details of the law. So if she's a
Okay.
full-time government employee, yes.
right? And
But
she
because
is
it's going
entitled.
through you guys, is it a full-time? Is it a limited term? And what are the rules with limited term? Is it a part-time? I know under part-time, we were not always able to compensate them. That's where I've run into the.
So
She's
it
not
just,
part-time though.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
all
go
in
ahead
favor?
just to be safe. Oh, I second
yes,
it.
Thank you, Carol.
Yeah,
All in favor?
aye.
Thank you.
We're just trying to cover that just to make sure we're
Yeah.
doing the right thing. Okay. Moving
Okay.
Board. Thank you.
Okay, board correspondence.
oh yeah.
Oh, we already talked about that, the reimbursement, right? Northern.
Yep. So should I send this now or to the new boards?
I think you should go ahead and send it.
And then we can
Okay.
always send another one. And we'll
Yeah.
What
keep
I
it.
would do, like I said, maybe wait till after tomorrow night after Tuesday night. And then what you would do is you would send it to both the past and incoming. That way everybody knows,
Well, Doc, we can always resend it because actually we don't even have the contacts for any potential newcomers in the
Okay.
Northern.
All right. All
So
right.
we'll just send it and then we can resend it again.
All right.
I really think that we should send it and CC copy everybody, all the board
Yeah,
members,
yeah,
both North and South and our advisor. And I understand the North is having a meeting on the 23rd, so hopefully they
Right.
can bring this up. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
Alright.
okay. All right. And it's
Okay, so FY 2020 to FY 2022. So one of the big tasks that Martha and I and now Leah have been working on is submitting and transmitting the meeting minutes, agenda, and recordings as required by the open government law. And University of Guam, Dr. Bob, you are included in that too. So we are all spick and span. And it
Okay,
feels
so
great.
are you gonna put this on a DVD or something so that we have a permanent copy of this thing, not just what's in the internet?
We could do a USB, yeah, USB of this.
I would recommend a USB and burn it to a DVD. I think DVDs last a little longer than USBs. The data on USBs degrade over the years.
Okay. Dang,
you
I
gotta
haven't seen a DVD in a long time.
And you may want to archive it up on your webpage as well. I mean, have it in, I mean, it's good to have it in the cloud. It's good to have it burned on something that lasts and then on USB and multiple hard drives.
And
That way
that would
it's-
include this meeting, right?
Yeah.
That would include this meeting. And then, our meetings are always live now too,
Right.
so
All right,
a lot of records. Okay.
that's
So
it.
that's it. And also, it's not listed here, but if we wanted to send a letter to Mayor Chargaloff and Inalahan for assisting. So I sent out that draft memo to the board. So if that's all good, let's get that memo to him.
Well,
Anyways.
on the memo to him, I wanted to follow up on that site. Are you guys staying on top of that ring and the planning area? And no, we never actually, as far as I know, did follow-up trainings with the mayor. I mean, I think I would hate to see either the ring or the planning become weed infested or the plants die because they're not watering. We need to, and he had a group of senior workers that workers for the seniors he wanted trained that I never heard of any follow-up on. What kind of communications are y'all maintaining with it? Because once you start something like that, I've sort of sat back, but it definitely needs to be maintained. And so.
Yeah, Doc, but I thought Mark Acosta was going to help out in that regard as far as advising them what to do with the whole.
Well, advising, but my point is we need to have regular communications with
Well,
the mayor.
I did stop by there, but the last few, we've been kind of busy, but I did stop by there. I don't remember what day that was, in between these meetings that we've been doing. I went down there and just tried to follow up. They did do some maintenance on it and all that, but like I was saying, I think Mark needs to kind of give them a little bit more training on what to do.
Well, if that's the case, then the whole point is Mark would do it, but he would come in. You guys are the intermediaries, so y'all would call a meeting, and then he or I. Right now, I got a feeling it won't be Mark. It'll be me this coming semester. Mark's absolutely got to cut back on he's got to focus on his masters a bit. And so this next semester, workshops and stuff like that are going to follow me and others that I pull in, Jesse, Joe, and others.
Okay.
But if you as a district need to be the point person, we have zero success in calling the mayor or the mayor staff to a meeting. So that would.
We need to coordinate, right, Dr. Bob?
Yeah, don't worry.
So yeah, you guys have to coordinate it and then we
Yeah.
can provide the technical.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may, Mr. Chair, I could probably chime in on that. I know I jumped in a little late there, but I know that was me and Mark that ran that workshop.
Right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so what we did, the communications I did have with, let me sorry, I'm throwing my video on. Sorry, I just got out of church here, guys. So the communications that we did have prior to that was the mayor, Tony Chargaloff. He had a few of his staff that he had there on the training and everything that was pertinent to upkeep that thing for at least for it to be successful within that first year. They were there, and I did visit there about 2 or 3 times after we planted, as well as the week before I left off island. And so everything that he did need to know, and his staff did need to know, I did follow up and make sure, at least the one that we did that was not the non-tree ring, that was self-automated. So the only thing they needed to do was just inspect for pests, and that I said we would help with. And like I said, the thing waters on its own. I gave them enough fertilizer for the entire year. They actually went and planted the next row. And in regards to the tree ring, everything that was in the ring of the lemongrass had been surviving, as well as the plant in the middle. But again, that was like the week before I left off island, and I just got back last week. So I do intend to go down there, but the idea of that was for us to have had that training during that workshop, which we did, and then just stay on contact with them as needed, because that's not something we were able to have the time to really go out and be doing, so long as their staff knew. So we had like 2 or 3 guys. I can't remember their names as of now. One was Larry Chargaloff, but there was 2 other guys that they had that they were able to upkeep, and that's what they do every day. But I could follow up with that.
Can you make sure that they connect to the automation? The tree, one of the things that was supposed to happen is that automated watering, the tree ring was supposed to be part of the automated watering. I mean, when we went in and did it, it's all one thing. Just because the workshop was a different day, it's all one thing and it needs to be cared of. But there does need to be follow-up, because they still, I mean, to teach them about sheet mulching and planting and fertilizing and watering is one thing, but they really needed, if they're going to grow a food forest, they need to have ongoing trainings. And so we need to follow up, and you need to plan on, probably, if that's going to be a demonstration site, need to formally plan on at least a quarterly training of the staff, whether it's public training or staff only, but we can't just do it and leave it, because I've watched it happen in schools and everywhere else. You come in one shot, you get them going, and it goes for 3 months, and the next dry season it dies. I mean, we may be lucky right now because the rain season came in pretty quick after, but one of the first things is the whole thing needs to be treated as a whole thing. So bring the tree ring, run a sideline from the automation over to there, and we need to do that. I thought that was being done as well, but
when I installed the water line, I did put a T there, so they were supposed to have that for set up, but I donated all that stuff, so I didn't have the other irrigation lines for to get to the tree ring. And then I think on the tree ring, you guys didn't have any irrigation lines that ran in through that, right?
No, I was totally thinking that when you put the other irrigation, you would then come in on top, have on top of the mulch, have the irrigation line come in later. So it definitely needs to go back and follow up and get that in there as well.
Okay, all right, I can do that. I can do that on our end, but I won't be able to run. I could run trainings, but I don't know what my schedule would look like. But if it's quarterly or so, I can work it out. But we didn't have that.
We can provide the training. We just need to have it coordinated. And one of the things is, like, even now in the rain season, there needs to be, I don't know if they've been informed of it. I know y'all fertilized for the planting, but now it's time to fertilize again. You know, and
I gave them a supply as well as instructions as to how much and when to put it.
Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to have to do is, if we engage in a project, and you need to be aware of this, when you engage in a project with the mayor's office or anything else, you got to plan on, for the next 2 years, committing a quarterly engagement with those people. And we'll need to do, and we can help, but we can help with.
I understand. I understand. What I'm saying is, when we signed up for that, that wasn't part of what I had threw out there in terms of giving that workshop. But I understand in terms of the success of something to happen. I agree with you 1,000%. What I'm saying is, I don't know if we signed up to say we're going to fulfill that. We can. I think we can put that in our plans. I just know that we said we were going to help them to start it and then give them the training they need to kind of to keep it going, and how it works and how it's supposed to work for the year, and then moving into the next year, as Mark talked about the different systems, that it's supposed to be a lower, basically lower input, something they can do that will be sustaining over the years. But I mean, for them to be expert like what we know how to do, I don't know, that's going to take some years, but for them to get it going and then them learn their system and then figure out how they wanted to do it, that's kind of the introduction that we presented.
The idea was, it was supposed to be a soil and water district pilot start for engaging with other mayors. And to do this, we really do have to, if the district needs to commit to quarterly engagement, and you need to do it with each village you add on.
We'll meet on that. We'll meet on that, because that wasn't something that I remembered was part of why we did it.
I was absolutely saying it, Glenn. I stressed it to Mark and everyone else, and to the mayor, that we need to come back and do more trainings, because we need what we want to do is train gardeners in each mayor's office, and so they can expand what they're doing to other things as well. But the key is we just want to make sure You keep it in the mayor's, part of the quarterly thing is to keep it in everybody's eye and know that it's being followed up on, because I just know the enthusiasm wears off in time, and then, yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because now we're looking 6 months later, that we're getting to the point where the enthusiasm starts wearing off, and where it'll really have worn off is January, when there's no rain and it, is requiring regular attention.
Okay, so when we meet and convene as a district on our next one, I mean, even if we're elected, I don't even know, but I'll
Right.
definitely make sure that that's in the foresight. But I know from what I remembered when asked to help do this project, that wasn't we wasn't a long term that we're gonna run this program all the way through. But we, again, I could be wrong. I'll look back on the minutes of our meetings of when we decided to volunteer and help do this. But I'm certainly good with doing it. But when we meet, we'll revisit and have those goals and objectives down. I probably just forgot, but I don't think so, but I may have. So, okay. Thank you, Dr. Bob.
Yeah, we did tell them we're going to come back and follow up with them throughout. So, and
which I did. Which I did. What I'm saying is,
when we train these guys, it always takes some follow-up, because they're not always going to get it in the first round,
right?
And not only that, but it helps our interaction with the farmers and villagers down there. So that is the bigger part, that we're always engaging with them, and they know it. And that's something I wanted to bring forward at hopefully with the next board, that we start to get really more engaged with the farmers and everybody within our villages. So that would be a good way to get it going. But yeah, so we'll keep it up, Glenn, and I appreciate that, especially if you can kind of be dropping in there and check on it and let us know what we need to do next or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Yep, I agree. I
Okay.
believe I did. I thought we did what we said we were going to do. I didn't think we were lacking in what we said we were going to do.
No
but yeah.
no lacking.
No lacking yet, but it's now time to start the next level of what we were doing.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, you got it. We'll definitely move into that.
Okay. So there's no public to comment, right? So
I am Mr. Public. I am Mr. Publicer or Miss Public.
Well, we have announcements, so you can go, Angie, first.
Okay. This is just a bittersweet. I guess I'm speaking for Carol also. Bittersweet that the two of us won't be around as board member, but I think we'll be around for whatever. You're having a party, invite us, or I can be attending some meetings. But I just want to thank all of you guys, and those that are still running. We wish you good luck, and hope that you'll make it into the board. I've been campaigning. My sister Linda's been campaigning for the right team right now. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Bob. And thank you. I think I'm crying.
Oh,
Don't
thank
cry.
you, Auntie Anne, for all you done for the
Don't
board.
cry.
But I just want to thank all of you for being a big, great partner, and that we were able to move a lot of our plans and plans to help with the conservation of our natural resources. So I want to hats off to you, commend you for it, and keep up the good work, Southern District.
Carol, you have something?
Yes. I am so sorry that, coming down with this illness, I won't be able to do anything anymore. I mean, I'm just barely walking, you guys. I'm trying my best to get back to normal, but it's been very hard. Imagine staying in the hospital for a whole month. I didn't even get up from the bed. But I just keep praying, and I ask you to pray for me too, and pray for Angie, so that we can get our normal self back. It's just something that I never thought it would happen, but I guess our Lord knows what's best for us. So thank
Yeah.
you for all your, I enjoyed all the travels that I did. Unfortunately, Angie and I never got to travel together, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. So, and if you ever need help in AGA, just let me know. I'm still very close to our administration, so I can get you some help.
All right.
Okay.
We
Thank
need help
Thank you,
you.
now
Auntie
too.
Carol.
Yeah.
Carol, Director Carol, make sure now you help get people to vote.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I cannot go out. I'm calling. Yeah, I'm calling people.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway,
right now I
Okay.
have to take care.
but anyway, thank you. And for you young people, don't get old. Remember what I said, don't get old. It sucks.
Well, the
I'm
alternative is sure better, Angie.
I know right now my blood pressure is 170 some, so that's why I'm lying down. But anyway, kudos to you guys, and I appreciate your camaraderie. I appreciate all the learning curves that happened in the past, and I'm just so proud of the Southern District that we're always working as a team, and I hope that it will continue with the new board. So yes. Again, thank you, Dr. Bob. Thank you, everybody. Love you always. Adios.
Okay. So I want to say this is our last meeting for the board also, right, for this term. And I just hope everybody that's running again or starting to run are successful for the new board. I just want to say thank you to all our board of directors. We did a lot of things beyond our imagination, and I think our staff has to be commended.
Oh,
Because
yes.
they did so much of the work, and of course, Erica is at the heart and soul of this whole thing. Our Southern, our GACD, and all of it. And she's leaving us too for a short time. And we all want to wish her well, successful, and to return to us safe and sound. When I started here, I never thought that I would be a chairman of it. Of course, Angie forced me into it, but I love it. This is a great board. We've done so many things that I don't know. I just keep hearing this is the first time. So I think we did a lot for the first time, and we were successful in it. And of course, we have a great advisor with Dr. Barber. We can't forget him. He's always there. We always tease him. He likes to talk, but when he says something, it's things that we need to listen to. So that's great, and I hope he continues on. So anyways, I want to thank you guys. This is our last meeting, and it's been really nice. All the traveling too, and everything, all the engagements, all our partners, everything was great. So thanks, and hopefully we're successful next week.
Mike, I just want to announce, and this is for Martha. I'm glad she's running. She's got her feet wet already by being an outreach specialist. So I think she'll be a very valuable member, and I hope she wins, and all of you guys. But having Martha there will be a big help, because she's got her feet wet already. So thank you, Martha, for expressing your support to run for the board.
Thank you, Auntie Angie, for those kind words. And I just want to say that this past year, working with all of you as the outreach specialist, I have learned so much, and I feel like there's still so much more I want to be able to contribute and do with the district. And I'm just so honored to be working with all of you. The leadership that you all provide, the passion that you all have for our mission is just, it's contagious. And there couldn't be any better board that I would ever put my hat in and run for, except for the Southern Guam. So just Mossy.
Oh, Erica, wow. Thank you,
Safe
Erica.
travels to our Airy.
Be back.
Yeah, you'll be
Thank
back with
you.
your boots, with your boots. And good luck. God bless
Boots
you.
on
God
the
be
ground.
with you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And good luck in the election, Dr. Bob. We'll talk
Be
more about
checking
that.
your
later.
be checking your WhatsApp. You will learn about it as soon as Dr. Bob tells us who are the winners. I'm sure.
Yes.
Email, not WhatsApp. Bob doesn't do anything on WhatsApp, but yeah.
Okay, so be checking your email, Erica.
Okay. Thank you. This was a great term.
I love you
Ready for
guys.
more.
Okay.
I'm trying not to talk because I know I'm gonna
Welcome,
cry. I'm
Bob.
just gonna say thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. And Erica, have a safe trip. And
Have a
you
safe
know,
trip.
we
And
all
we're
want
praying.
you back.
I'll miss you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Take
who's
care.
gonna-
Take care. Take care. Take
Thank you.
care.
You two, you guys, you and Andy, take care of your health.
Yeah,
We
praying.
will
you.
check, guys.
Okay.
So Angie, I'll give you the honor of making the motion to adjourn for the last time.
Okay, this vice chairman move. Not Jordan.
And Carol can second it
For the last time. I'll
for the
second.
last time. All right. Everybody in favor, right?
I
Bye.
love you
Aye.
guys.
Bye.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Okay,
Love you
Take
bye.
guys.
care.
Guys,
Take
too.
Take
care,
care. Okay,
everybody.
bye
You
bye.
too.
Take
Great
care,
meeting. Thank you.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye
Bye.
bye, Angie.